Titleist Performance Institute in Oceanside, California. Our tour guide today, Lucas Brogue, take us in the short game area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have some fun down here.
And we are. You start me off in the throw-up zone, which is the best place to start, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
you can only go up from here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've painted the picture for you. I've put you in a tough position on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find out where the shape of the golf club or the grind works more effectively in the hardest position,
Right.
whether that's firmness or most difficult shot, more often than not, it's going to work everywhere else too.
Right. And
So I start here.
And the most people I've talked to at Titleist, everyone says on short game, either wedge or ball, start and work your way back, right? That's the way to do it.
It's the way
So we're
to
going
do
to
it.
right here, our intent is black flag, right?
I want to watch how you use this club from here. Now, you said that you typically use a 60 degree.
Typically 56.
Right.
And then this is a 60, correct? Got lucky there.
Now, what do you notice about those two shots, the difference between them?
One was just a high kind of flop. The other one was a little low flighted.
Absolutely. And what about the spin? Non-existent.
Right. Yeah.
So we've got to figure that portion of this fitting out.
Okay.
So give me one more.
Okay. Now where I'm playing this is back in stance.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't have to have that conversation.
A little forward, and then off we go. That was heavy. One
Okay.
more?
I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Okay. It's where the rubber meets the road.
Okay.
When we think about grinds, we're just talking about the shape of the golf club.
Okay.
The letter on the bottom is just the player that Bob built it for. K is Tom Kite. L is for Lefty for Phil. S is Steve Stricker.
How about that?
D is a high bounce version of the M.
Okay.
M is short for my favorite. We'll tell you the real story later. T is Tom Pernice. V is VJ. F stands for Full Sold. So
Okay.
they're just shapes that we know which ones we're talking about.
Okay.
When you're looking at a K grind, what you have unique about it is you're looking at how much sole width is there.
Mhm.
Camber is described as the roundness,
Right.
and then how much bounce is there.
Correct.
So bounce is one of the more misinterpreted numbers. Bounce is the measurement from the leading edge to the trailing edge.
Mhm.
The measurement of this bounce is actually 16 degrees. But we put 14 on the bottom because that's what we think it plays like
Plays to 14.
when you tweak that face a little bit open. So when you look at these two clubs and you see the number on the bottom, there's a 14 and there's a 4. You would assume that this has less bounce. Well, it has a much more narrow sole width. It has a lot of relief, has no camber, but it actually has the same measured bounce as this golf club. So when you're looking at it, just like we talked about earlier with drivers and things, loft is the most important and the shape is the most important. So we have to find out which one of these you use the best, assuming that you use it the correct way.
Okay.
You think of a hammer, right?
Right.
You can hammer a nail and using the side of it works a lot better when you use the front. So we got a couple things to talk about. This is your club. Okay, this is the one that you hit.
Well, I have it in my bag. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we caught it a little thick. We did some different things. So I'm going to start you here. The only rule I have, you cannot look at the golf club.
Okay.
Keeping you out of this.
All right.
We joke around that the grind finds you, you don't find the grind. If you get too hung up on what you think you need, we're in a bad place. Okay, so couple key things. What tour players do very, very well, we'll simplify this. The leading edge is the precision part of the club. The trailing edge, or the sole, is the forgiving part. If you see a player setting up with a square club face, hooding it, a player is always going to be probably a poor chipper. If you see a player using that trailing edge and opening that face and using that bottom portion, some players say use the bounce, and the bounce is the measurement, right?
Right.
You're talking about the trailing edge and the sole of the club. So a good player, a tour player, when you see those overhead views, you'll see that their wedge is
Back and open.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I want you to continue to do that,
Okay.
and I'm going to change your golf club
Okay.
as you hit these, and I want you to notice how it feels, how it sounds, and its reaction on the green. So adjust your speed a little bit, obviously. You're going to have to hit it a little bit harder.
Caught that little crisp.
That's okay. So to me, it sounds a little clunky.
Right.
Just a little bit. I think players get a little too hung up on deciding their shapes and their bounce based on their course conditions. You need to find out which one works best first and then go towards the course conditions.
Heavy again.
I would love to fit off of a cart path, because if it works there, it's going to work
Yeah.
everywhere. Ball first.
Felt good.
What I'm looking for is that low checker with some spin. Like the eye doctor. One or two. I'm listening
Yep.
for turf interaction. I'm listening for how it sounds.
Take one.
Well, they all can do that. Different,
That's the one
isn't
you're
it?
looking for there. Yeah.
Mhm. Feels different, doesn't it?
Yes.
Do you know which ones I'm handing to you?
No, I have no clue.
Perfect.
I couldn't tell you loft or shape.
Perfect.
That's fat again.
That's okay. The purpose of a 60 degree or a 58 degree relative to the others are to be able to create height. And you can do that because there's more loft and you can be more aggressive with your swing.
Yeah.
But we
'Cause
also
typically
need a lot
back in
more
the day,
spin.
we would just go from here to here.
Yep.
You know.
You got to pick whether you got to go high or low.
Right.
There's no real middle ground.
Wow.
That's the one.
Oof.
That one feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah. Even though I decelled on it.
That's okay. You can hear the difference of the
Yeah.
turf interaction. That's what you're looking for when you're fitting for wedges, is the turf interaction usually dictates the quality of shot.
That was killed.
Got that a little chunky.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you needing 60 degrees.
You think I do or I don't?
I think you need 60.
Do.
I don't want to take away your 56 degree, which is your go-to wedge. Because if you can have a golf club that's more versatile in a lot of places, and that's what you grew up and you're used to using, again, I'm not going to take that away from you. That's your go-to shot.
Right.
If you took away my 58, I would play terrible. Go in.
There we go.
Now, we didn't do what we wanted, but it went in the hole. Okay, 56. Don't look at it.
Okay.
Let's throw it towards the white flag.
Okay.
Was this a place where you'd use your 56? Or where would you use your 56 more often? To that black flag, actually?
Probably, yeah. Black flag and use a 52 to this one.
Let's use 56 then here.
Okay.
To the black flag, sorry.
To the black flag?
Yeah, yeah. Because that's where you normally use
You're
it.
right.
To the white flag now.
Okay.
That's the shot though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the wrong distance. We said we probably would like 52 from that type of shot position, but I'm challenging you a little
Yeah,
bit. I'm
okay.
trying to force you into a position where you haven't thought of. Now, why would that one go further than the previous one?
Swung harder.
Did you? Did you
I
feel
felt
you
like
swung
I
harder?
did, yeah.
Okay.
I hit too short, so I said I gotta put a little more in it. That one's fat. Or heavy, I should say.
It's already gone, right? The
Behind-
whole point is figuring out which one you interact with the turf better so that you can predict how the lie is going to react and how the ball will come off. Sounds much better.
Better, but short. Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
That's okay.
There's two ways we can remedy short.
Less loft or swing harder.
You can change the club or you can change your swing. That's
the one there.
perfect. Same shot, different golf club. So, can you hit these golf clubs farther? Yes, you can. Good players hit the club that they should hit, not what they can hit.
Right.
So in this case, if you find that a 52 from here is more probable to get you close to the hole, that's the golf club that you should use. Now, your stock yardage might be 100 yards. Players get too fixated on their yardage as their number. I'm at 100 yards, that's my 50. That's a silly way of viewing golf.
Right.
You should flight the ball and control it with whatever club you feel is appropriate.
Most comfortable, right?
Yeah.
For your game.
Or that's most probable, and that's based on your practice. Like I joked around earlier, tour players are very disciplined at knowing what they do well and what they do poorly, and they err towards those positions and make good decisions on the golf course. See how that dirt goes all the way to the back of the club?
Yeah.
That means that you're using the trailing edge. You're using all of that sole. It's a good thing. So let's hit this and let's see what happens.
And I'm doing, like you asked, beginning.
Yeah.
Back stance.
This is just
a little open.
Yep. This is just a style of shot. This is one shot. Now, to me, that sounded a little better.
Yeah.
You're like Costanza. Whatever you think, just do the opposite. So
George isn't happy.
You and Steve Stricker have a lot in common.
And that is hair.
I don't know personally, I can't say that.
Yeah.
You liked 8 degrees of bounce in your 52 more here. You liked a 10S in your 56. You liked a 60S in your 60. Why? I got no clue.
Yeah.
You just liked them better.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do. So we validate those 3. These are the 3 that we said, you know what?
These are the best.
We like these the most. Let's go take them all around the course or all around our positions. Sand, rough, long sand shots, tight little lies, little fluffy stuff greenside, pot bunkers. And let's validate that these 3 are in fact the clubs that we want to use. So our tour players are looking at this and saying, okay, this is what we want to do, and then how do we validate it on the golf course? So in the fitting experience, I would pick these 3. And we'd go move up and we hit some further shots with them, just to confirm. Because sometimes one works good short side, one works better when you're trying to hit it a little harder. Typically, they're all gonna work great when you start hitting them further and you're hitting them harder because you're getting the club moving through the turf. It's the short side stuff that means the most.
And you know none of this without spending the time and getting fit.
No
from
question.
a professional fitter.
No question.
Absolutely.